Like, you have to watch it. Like, I would just like,
Romantic drama like Ash and Misty. Tension like when the Pharaohs attacked Pikachu. Not knowing if anyone's going to make it like Ash at the Pokemon League. Hello and welcome. My name is Alex Gonzalez, and today is my good old friend, J.E.
hey, that's me.
And please remember that we are not game devs. What if we swap? Well, no, we shouldn't say this on air. What if we swap accounts for Amazon and HBO Max? You can have your own profile.
I mean, I'll let you watch. Yeah, fucking do it. Watch stuff on my Amazon account. I'm honestly whatever about HBO Max though. Even if Mortal Kombat, I'll wait for Mortal Kombat.
Godzilla.
I don't.
Rick and Morty.
That's on something.
South
else.
Park.
That's also on something else. That's on those both are on Hulu, I believe.
All the DC movies that you know and love, like Zack Snyder's Justice League.
I've only seen Shazam in that movie verse.
Well, those are not the subscription services we are talking about today. Today, we are creating something new. Every week, We Are Not Game Devs will create a new exciting video game idea that we have always wanted to play, but do not have any knowledge or know how to create the wonderful experience that are video games. And today is my turn to present We Are Not Game Devs 150-second IP. And we're going to begin with this basic concept. It's going to be a platforming puzzle game where you play as a candle that's lit, and you can use your fire to destroy and alight different things in the level, but also have powers to defeat enemies. However, it's on a slight timer because if you use too many of your flame powers or get attacked too much, you'll wither out and die.
I feel like we've done a game very similar to this before, but I don't remember it. So let's just go on with it.
Now, I imagine when you're running, it'll look there's a couple things I want it to be looking like. I want it to have that classic animation style, almost like cartoons where it's 24 frames per second. So when it runs, the candle leans back and you see like wax dripping, so then you can know where you've been. And then like it's kind of running like that.
In my head already, it just looks like Cuphead.
Thank you. All right. And now I'm also thinking that as the level goes on, you get smaller and smaller and are able to take benefits from that.
Maybe getting smaller and smaller is part of the timer.
Exactly.
But also it gives you benefits. So like you'll get smaller and smaller. So that means your timer is running out. But then you could also reach places that you haven't been able to reach before. And then when you go into those areas, you'll be able to maybe like checkpoints will be a refueling station or something. And it only has a certain amount. So every time you hit a checkpoint, it gives you a little bit of oil to keep burning a little bit bigger again, but only a little bit. It's not like unlimited. So like once you hit a checkpoint, that's when you lose flame later on, you'll go back to that checkpoint at the flame level you reach that checkpoint at, if that makes any sense.
And it'll be a checkpoint and it'll renew your flame so that you can keep going. Mm-hmm. Now, let's talk about the origin of this candle. Let's make it a story. And the story is going to provide the setting for the game. I imagine maybe you're in, I don't know if this is the right word, candelabra. And you're in there jamming, maybe dancing with all these other candles. And as you're jamming, you kind of squeeze out, and then you're able to, like, you feel your feet and you're able to walk. Or what if when you squeeze out, you fall into a mold of a toy? And then you get arms and legs. Or how about this? It's fucking fantastical world. When you squeeze out and you fall out, all of a sudden you're able to stretch out your arms and legs, almost like everybody has them, but you just were keeping them in.
That's how I more imagined it, where you're like a little flame body thing where you're running around with arms and legs as a flame. Not so much that they're being developed by a plastic mold or anything like that.
That's much better. And how
Let's
about since it's like in a candelabra, you're going through a castle
how about you don't
or
start on that. Let's say you're in a abandoned castle where it has been inhabited for a while, and maybe the game starts off with like a little animated thing where there's a bunch of these kids, these punks, and they're like daring each other to go into this abandoned mansion castle thing.
that they hear is haunted.
Yeah, and they go in with a candle. Let's say this is a period piece. Like let's say this is like we're in like the 1700s America or whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And they go into this haunted house with the candle lit or whatever, and they're walking in. Something spooks them. They drop the candle, it falls to the ground, and then for some reason the candle turns alive. And your goal is to make this house lit up again. So you're going around lighting up all the candles in this house, and that is the objective of the game, to light up the whole house. And then maybe you could find secrets to light up other candles that aren't objective candles. You just light them up because they'll like, maybe it's like Mega Man, it'll unlock a new power where you could like focus your power or your flame in a different way and like stuff like that. I don't know, I'm just kind of spitballing here.
What if when you unlock, like each level will have one candle that you have to light or two, and maybe after four you get a longer wick. You get more wax.
mm, mm. I don't think you're a candle though, right? Aren't you just like a moving ball of flame?
No, you're like a moving ball of wax flame. Yeah, you're a candle that you're moving
Okay, you're a
around
candle.
as.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Then I think what it would be more like is each checkpoint is one of the candles that you have to light. So it's going to be more like each level you're lighting like 4 or 5 candles. But at the very end, maybe you're lighting like a major candle. Like maybe the checkpoints will be like little lamps along hallways, but then the main candle that you have to light up is like either like, yeah, a chandelier or like a much bigger candle that's supposed to be like a main source of light that has like reflectors around it, so it like makes the candle light a little bit brighter than it would be on its own.
Okay. Now I think we have a idea of the setting. We have an idea of what it looks like. We have an idea of how the character is going to move. Now I want to talk about certain obstacles because you are a candle. I think if, for instance, we're going through the kitchen and a mouse starts chasing you as a boss and you're able to jump outside on windowsills and jump from windowsill to windowsill and kind of run around, when you get towards something colder, you're going to burn slower. But if you go towards an oven, a fireplace, maybe another boss that uses flame, you have to be careful because he'll make you burn brighter.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have more firepower, but you'll also take more damage.
Yeah. I like it. And you also burn faster, so you have to get through those hot areas a little bit faster than the other ones. And then maybe the cold areas will be a more difficult platforming area,
but
so
slower.
you can take more time for it. Yeah. Also, I pictured this as a 2D platformer. I don't know what you're imagining.
No, I'm thinking the same thing, but there will be different things where, like, let's say you reach an open window in a kitchen, it'll like fade out into outside, and then you'll keep running.
Do you want this to feel more like side-scrolling platformer with levels, or more like a Metroidvania? Because I could also imagine eventually you'll pick up different power-ups. Like, let's say further along, you'll pick up extra wick, and then you could use it kind of like as a whip / grapple, where you will like throw it, grapple it on something, and then you could travel
I could see that
along across it or something like that.
I want power-ups, but I don't want it to be a Metroidvania. I don't want you to have to revisit.
Okay, so is it going to be more like these power-ups are strictly like Cuphead, where like I don't know if Cuphead actually works like this, I shouldn't say that, but like you could equip up to 2 different power
That's exactly how it
ups.
works. Yeah, we're going to
At
do it the same way where there's going to be 2 different power-ups so you can have your own individual style for playing and it kind of twerks it but not too much. I want there to be bosses, but I don't want it to be anything. There's going to be bosses that you have to beat. And there's bosses that you're going to have to out platform and escape. And then there's other bosses where you're going to have to use your platforming to then kill them or at least get the best of them.
Yeah.
Such as destroying platforms so they fall through, burning ropes so things fall on them as you platform, or platforming through a level where something's chasing you, like the cat, or battling other inanimate objects. Like I think another one would be the oven. Let's say that in total, where it'll be something like you'll battle into it and you go like out of the frying pan straight into the fire, and then you go through that.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. And I haven't played Cuphead, but I think it's kind of like Mega Man in a sense. So I imagine that you're just going from level to level, and they're like, what, 3 phases per level, and at the end you fight the boss type of thing.
Yep.
Okay, cool. And then maybe the last boss will be the grand hall chandelier, candelabra, whatever you want to call it, and then the boss is the chandelier, and then you have to light the entire thing, and then that's the end of the game.
Yeah, and it burns too bright.
Yep. Maybe the goal is to make the house unhaunted, so your friends, your master or whatever, will come back with their group of friends to like visit the castle now that it looks bright and cheery or something, and you get rid of the haunt.
That sounds beautiful. What kind of music do you think we're going to be listening to while playing this?
I imagine like Scooby-Doo kind of like kind of creepy music, but it's more like fun creepy music. I don't know how to explain.
Yeah, like almost, if you can imagine, like creepy, like carnival music or something like that. I know it sounds really creepy, but like imagine upbeat carnival, but you're playing through. No,
I imagine like, you know, like when they make a horror cartoon for like kids, like the type of music they'll play in that type of episode.
Exactly.
Where it's like you're watching Dora the Explorer or something, but all of a sudden they go somewhere scary and they start playing music to make it scary. It'll be like that music. You know what I mean?
And yeah, and it's going to be fun too, because you can like battle sugar skulls and make them into caramel and different stuff like that.
Yeah, that would work, but I feel like you're fighting more because it's an abandoned house, so I don't know if there's gonna be any sugar. You know what I mean? On this is really old.
There'll be like old things. Can you battle a piano? That would be fun. Because as you're like moving on the keys or hitting different keys, it'll make noises too. Like that'd be good.
I feel like you're battling like cockroaches. You said rats. Yeah, maybe
like just
family of cats or raccoons or something moved in.
But it's going to be stylized. So I imagine it to be a bunch of raccoons, and then you battle the boss raccoon.
Yeah, the mom raccoon. Maybe there are some leftover food. I don't think sugar actually. I'm sure sugar goes bad, but I don't think it ever like starts
really.
like
it doesn't
molding
actually
up.
Go bad.
Oh, really? Yeah. So maybe they just left sugar in the house, and then you like knock over a pot, and that spills all the sugar cubes, and then I think maybe the house is trying to. It realizes you're trying to re-brighten up the house, kind of like Concrete Genie. So the house is fighting you, and so every time the house gets an opportunity to get something to haunt you out of existence, it just gives that opportunity. So when you knock over a pot of sugar cubes, they automatically get haunted, type of thing.
I like that. So how much are you willing to pay for this game here?
Give it a good $30.
I was thinking the same thing. $29.99 available on PS5, Xbox, PC, Switch,
Nintendo Wii.
No Nintendo Wii. Nintendo 3DS. I think it'd be a completely different game. Well, Jay, Get your timer out because we're going to name this game.
Go.
Wax on, wax off.
Um,
It's candle wax. It's funny, but it's not good. I know.
the what are those haunt movies called? Like the haunt of something something or the something something haunt. But I'm thinking like the candle in the haunted house
Carl
or
the
something.
Candle in Haunt of Shady Manor.
That sounds like a Pajama Sam, Freddy the Fish type of title. Uh, I feel like this is the longest pause we've ever had.
Dead air because I keep trying to think of a C name.
Oh, you want to name him
I don't know. You
like
don't have to name him. I'm just trying to think of something
like
clever.
Candy Candle?
Light of Hope in Shady Manor.
Lighting of the Wicker Manor. I don't know. Wicker Manor. The light of Wicker Manor.
Wicker Manor's Light? What the fuck is that, though? Like, really? What kind of name is that? You pick up Wicker Manor's Light? Hey, you guys know about Wicker Manor?
How about Wicker Manor?
Let's just do Wicker Manor.
Wicker Manor in 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Felt like an eternity. Wicker Manor is a side scrolling platformer where you play as a candle burning bright. But make sure not to burn at both ends because you only have so much wick. That means you have to jump, hunt, battle, and stay away from powerful foes as you unhaunt the mansion and figure out what's going on at Wicker Manor. All right, Jay, I think we got a game here. What game developer do you think would make Wicker Manor the best?
I mean, the first people that come to mind is the developers of Cuphead, which is
Nah, but they already got Cuphead.
I mean, that's true. But even still, this is not like Cuphead, you know what I mean? Where they're cups, you know. You're a candle with a fire in this one.
Let's do Square Enix. They're able to do great with art the way we see it, and I think they'd be able to make this happen. Ha. Another one right off the bat that I think would do great would be Tim Schafer's gang at Double Fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It seems like a good old Halloween game that we could see being released around that time by them.
Yeah. Another
Devolver
game
Digital.
that comes, or another developer and game that comes to mind is the Little Nightmares developers, Tarsier Studios, I guess. Oh, also Supermassive. I didn't know that they developed Little Nightmares.
I don't know why, but we always do this where we plug Kojima in, and then all of a sudden, I imagine a hard-faced candle smoking a small cigarette, and every time he takes a puff, a brighter flame appears, and he's just like, "Suge," as he's sitting there, just like.
You know who I think would do pretty cool with this would be Level 5, specifically because of Nino Kuni, and then maybe they'll get like the Studio Ghibli art style from Howl's Moving Castle, where you get that flame monster creature thing, you know. But if it gets that Studio Ghibli look to it,
Now, the last one that I want to do is Konami, who did Castlevania. If we were to make this canon in the Castlevania universe, so you're one of the candles that hop out, and you're just in the universe playing.
And all of a sudden, you're fighting the undead instead of cockroaches and
You're
sugar
actually in
cubes.
Dracula's mansion,
Yeah.
and you think that you're fighting the undead, and you're some holy flame. All right. So, Jay, what do you think about this game now? Would it be a game that is fun, and would you want to play it?
I'm sure it'd be fun. Probably won't play it though. Not
I
my
think
kind
I'd
of
play
game.
it. I'd play it on Switch. It'd be a traveling game for me, just like how Cuphead was. Play that, enjoy it. Play it when there's nothing else around.
Yeah.
Sad to say.
You know me. I'm not a 2D side scroller type of dude.
I'd like it for its stylishness, for sure. And with that, our 152nd IP has gone gold. We hope you look forward to this experience that will probably never release. You can write to @poundgames@gmail.com if you have anything to patch into the game we created today. Also, give us feedback. We're still learning how to make things better, and your feedback really helps. We have a Patreon. If you'd like to back our ideas, please head over to patreon.com/wearenotgamedevs. Patrons receive episodes 2 days early and an extra podcast at the beginning, which you caught the tail end of our conversation at the beginning of this episode. That's patreon.com/wearenotgamedevs. If you liked our show, why not subscribe and give us all the stars on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Store, Spotify, YouTube, and more. And if they ask for a review, instead of reviewing our show, become your inner game critic and review Wicker Manor?
Wicker Manor?
Wicker Manor, the video game we just created today. We went like 50 episodes without forgetting video games. They used to be a thing. Thank you for joining us today. We'll be back next Friday with another new IP. Again, my name is AG.
And I'm JE.
Thank you, and please remember that we are not game devs. I almost feel like it's a trap for you because your name can only be your name. What are you going to do?
JY. They'll throw everything off.
JY. And I'm Alexander Anthony.
What is that, your middle name?
Yeah.
Anthony?
Not like that. I'm conjugating it quite a bit to fit.
Like AA.
So let's sit and get lit, because we're about to be chomping at the bit. Yeah.